Don't go advocating for something for black people that you wouldn't want for yourself.
Oh, God, that's well said.
Because every white liberal that says we shouldn't have the police in black communities, okay, would you call the police if there was crime in your neighborhood? Is that what you want? You think you're helping us and you're not. You're harming us. Privileged white liberals are always at the scene of the crime. I always have them calling me either a coon, a race traitor, an Uncle Tom, a sellout, hard R, soft A, whatever it is. And it's okay because of my proximity to whiteness. The second you become conservative or Republican or you're a part of law enforcement, you will have white people that have been empowered by social justice causes to think that they can put me back in my place.
Wow.
And then they'll try to tell me that I'm uncomfortable in my skin. No, I'm very comfortable in my skin. So comfortable that I'm willing to think outside of the parameters that you've put on me. No one puts a glass ceiling on a black person faster than a white liberal. They think that they're helping you, but really all they're doing is they're trying to systemically disempower you. They want you to be in a neighborhood that has no police, and what happens then? You're going to end up in a life of crime and abuse and all these different things. And who are you going to call?
Welcome to World Moving Trend, when we give you an update of what's trending around the world and especially in the United States of America. Note that this video is for educational purpose. It's not to bring confusion, not to bring chaos to your mind or your environment. Rather, it's to enlighten you on how people, other communities and other tribes think and act. Let's go into what is trending right now. So there's a video right now, trending right now, about how white people are obsessed with black people, or better still, how the white community is obsessed with with black communities. This has been ongoing for a while and all that, and the black communities are saying that the whites cannot stop poke nosing into their own issue, into black communities' issues. That they are always the one so obsessed with them that they put their mouth or they talk about them even when they are not talking about them, that they are not quite interested in talking about white people and all that is around them and all that, because why? The system already is built for them. But they are always in a constant obsession or in a constant contact with them, commenting on their stuff, commenting on whatever they do, or trying to change the trajectory of what is going on around them and all that. And they're asking, why is this like this way? Why are they like this? Why are the white communities behaving the way they are behaving? But wait, let's go watch some of these reactions, some of these videos. Note that credits belong to all the content creators in this video. And also, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. I'll be right back.
White people are obsessed with black people, which is why racists exist. Because in order to be racist, you need to wake up every day and just continuously think about why you don't like a person or a group of people based on the color of their skin. In response to my video about the Young Republican group chat in which they joked about racism, anti-Semitism, gas chambers, I got several responses like this saying, "You're acting like black people don't talk about white people the same way we talk about you in your group chats." Black people do not think about white people at all. And I know that's probably hard for you guys to comprehend because you think about us so much. Our lives do not revolve around what white people are doing, what white people are saying. We do not talk about you guys when you're not in the room. We don't talk about you even when you are in the room unless you do something. Half of the commentary you see from black people, including myself, that is online, comes in response to you guys doing or saying some crazy shit. And in reality, the only thing that black people want is to be left alone by white people. But you guys won't leave us alone because you think about us all the time. And if you don't believe me, maybe you'll believe someone who looks like you.
Black people want to be left alone. They don't want revenge. They don't want to replace us, as some extremist groups have said. They just want to live life in peace, the way they want to live. They want family, they want love, and they want to live in a society where they know they belong here. They want society to also know that they belong here.
That's not culturally a thing that we do, but apparently it's something you do, so you think that we're sitting around pondering about what you're doing. This goes back to why white women think that they're the managers of the world, so they can come question black people and what they're doing. You can stalk us outside. You can have all these thinks and thought pieces about how we exist. And it's like, I've never really understood it, but it's because you guys are infatuated with the idea of, one, us being free citizens to think, vote, have jobs, and make money. 2, we're not subjugated by you literally like we used to be. 3, it's like a weird obsession where you want to be liked by us and you want us to think that you're cool. And 4, a combination of all the above. But sorry, to answer your question, no, we do not have group chats where we sit around talking about white people. I hope that helps you on this beautiful Sunday. Stay blessed.
So white people will never leave black people alone, and I'm gonna tell you why. White society's obsession with black people isn't new, it's centuries old. If you think about slavery, colonialism, and exploitation, from the start, white wealth in America was built off the backs of black bodies. Sugar, cotton, tobacco, rice. This wasn't just economics, it was a system where white people's very identity was shaped around controlling and owning and watching black bodies. But here's the wild contradiction in all of this, right? While trying to dehumanize us, white culture has always been obsessed with us, right? They copied our music, our style, our language, our food, even our rhythm, all while denying us basic rights. Think about jazz and rock and hip hop and fashion, all born out of black genius, only to be taken, watered down, and sold back to the world with a white face on it. So why can't they just stay away? Because in a system that is built both on exploitation and envy, distance is impossible. White supremacy depends on keeping black people in place, close enough to use, control, or imitate, but never free enough to threaten the hierarchy. It's a sick paradox, fear and fascination at the same damn time. On a psychological level, it's projection. White folks will project their guilt, their fear, and their insecurities onto blackness, and then turn around and crave the very life, culture, and resilience they tried to destroy. It's like they want the sauce, but not the struggle. Now, to be real, not every white person acts like this, but the system, the way whiteness has defined itself against blackness, makes it so this obsession keeps resurfacing. Whether it's over policing or culture appropriation or trying to legislate our lives, it always comes back to the old need to dominate mixed with a quiet desire to be what they can't.
Somebody just gave me a reason. Watch this.
Why can't white people just leave black people alone?
Why can't you, being a beautiful black woman, say something out your mouth as pretty as you are, instead of something really ugly like what you just said? Racist much? So let's talk about the white people leaving black people alone, shall we? Well, let's see. Let's start with the Civil War. More white Northern soldiers died in the Civil War, from the North, especially. Those guys sacrificed so that black people could be free. That was the end result of the war. See, people can debate on whether the war was about economics and about this and that, but who gives a fuck? The result was the Emancipation Proclamation, which a certain white person named Abraham Lincoln was responsible for that. Oh, and let's talk about the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments. The amendments that gave black people citizenship, and allowed black people to vote, and gave black people a bunch of rights. Oh, those were white politicians back then in Congress and the Senate because, at that time, there were no black politicians to make any votes in the government. So, boy, but maybe they should have just left black people alone too. Yeah, maybe Abraham Lincoln and those, over 50, 60,000 white Northern soldiers. Yeah, black men fought in the Civil War too, but black regiments were outnumbered drastically by white regiments. And they fought and died so that some slaves they don't even know or probably never gave a shit about could go free. Yeah. Oh, and the white people that helped Harriet Tubman, the white abolitionists, maybe they should have left Harriet Tubman alone, let her try to do it on her own. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's kind of funny because I guarantee you that most of the shit you own, including the clothes on your back and that hair on your head, came from a white person. See, I find it funny when some of you black women speak this way, when a lot of y'all go to the hair store and be buying them white people hair. So why don't you leave them the fuck alone? Why don't you leave the white people alone, let their hair stay?
You should have left her alone. Let's go. First of all, I'm going to get up here and check you because you said, oh, why don't you say something as pretty as you are? Instead, you decided to say something ugly. Racist much? No. See, first of all, you deliberately took her words out of context so that you can pander to the same white people who are triggered by her video. So we're going to take this bit by bit. You basically brought up Abraham Lincoln, white abolitionists, and all of the people who fought for the rights of black people. And had they left black people alone, we would still be enslaved and not have any rights. Okay. Abraham Lincoln did not fight for the rights of black people because he felt so strongly about it. He fought for the rights of black people because he didn't want to lose the Union. He didn't want to lose the vote of the people. He even said, if I could save the Union without freeing a single slave, I would. He would go on to say that the only equality that black women and black men deserve is pay for the fruits of their labor. They should be able to enjoy the fruits of their labor, but they should not be able to hold office, vote, or even marry one another. You know, interracial dating. So you go on to talk about the clothes on her back, the hair that's in her head, whatever. Okay, first of all, since you want to act like they did us such a fucking favor by abolishing slavery when the human thing to do would have not been to fucking put us in slavery anyway, but okay, I'll let you have that. Yeah, every time we left them alone, you know, Tulsa, Rosewood, all of the other towns that they burned and pillaged because somebody lied, somebody accused someone of assault, whatever. Every time that we tried to leave them alone and live on our own and live in our own peace and harmony, they came and took that from us. Maybe if they had left us alone after slavery instead of initiating Jim Crow laws, maybe we would have our own clothing lines, hair lines, skincare lines. You see, they're still not leaving us alone because every time one of us makes something for us, by us, they come and take it from us. So yeah. Furthermore, this young lady was saying, leave us alone, because there is always a white person in a black person's business. There is always a white woman telling a black woman what to do, how to wear her hair, how to carry herself, where she should be. Don't talk to me like that. Get out of my way. That's who she's talking about. See, I think I'm going to have to break this down for you because even though you're a little long in the tooth and you should understand the context in which this video was made, you obviously don't. So I'm going to help you. You see, she said, leave us alone, because right now, black women, we're stepping back and we're taking a look at the bigger picture. You see, we expect certain things from white men because they've shown us historically who they are, what they do, and what they're capable of. So we know what to expect from them. But right now in 2023, we have a myriad of white women who are on our side, and they are reflecting and rejecting on the white supremacist rhetoric that has thrived in this country and still continues to thrive in this country. So they are standing with us against the white people who are saying, just forget about it, just let it go, we're all equal, I don't see color, all of the bullshit that you are pretty much singing with this we are the world fucking context. So I'm going to end with this. Since you're so triggered by her video and you feel as though white people have done so much for black people, okay, first of all, Uncle Ruckus and Steven would be very proud of you. So clap your hands, okay? Leave this woman alone. If you can't understand the context in which it was made, or you're triggered by it because you want to pander and get a pat on the head by the white people, then do so. But I'm pretty sure that there are some white women and white men who understood the context of this video, because there are white men and white women who will say out loud, ready? If someone had did to my people what my people did to yours, I wouldn't trust them or want to be bothered with them either. But of course, you're not going to listen to those white people because they're still the minority. You still want to go with the majority because you still want to get that pat on the back. Sir, your skin is black and you're a man. You're never going to be okay with them. Leave this woman alone. Leave black women alone. Go back to Massa and get your pat on the back. And I'll end with this. We wouldn't have to ask them to leave us alone in 2023 had they just left our fucking ancestors alone in Africa and the Caribbean and all around the world. Have the day you deserve.
Being Black and upper class has in no way been a persecution for me. It has, however, been a front row seat to a kind of white rage that affects everyone, no matter what social, racial category you slot into in society. This rage flies under the radar, it's made invisible, it's been around for a long time, it runs on the same economic, political playbook that it has since the end of the Civil War, and it's hurting all of you. All of you. Unless you're Jeff Bezos, but that's not you. A very small example of this is a couple of years back, I was all dressed up with Black and white cousins. We're all dressed up. There's a good group of us, maybe 12, and we're going to the symphony. This symphony is it's manned by tons of volunteers, right? People who want to help you, people who are excited to see young people come to the symphony. And we get there and I've got my 8 or 9 tickets all connected. And this older white woman, member of my community, is doing the scanning. I can tell from the get-go, she doesn't really want to help me. She's peeved. And I'm thinking, why? I've got this huge group of people coming in. Like, this is a win for the local community symphony. So she scans all my tickets, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. She gets to the 8th or 9th one. I don't remember how many exactly we had. It doesn't beep. Now, mind you, I had to pick up these tickets at will call with an ID, with my name. And she knows this because she's a volunteer before I come to her. She scans the last ticket that has the symphony's name on it. I mean, it's got all the official stuff. And she explodes with this quiet anger and this total frustration. Like, she's just like, she knew it. She knew I was a thief. And she loudly, in front of everybody, accuses me basically of stealing a ticket and attaching it to the legitimate tickets, which is how you should do crime. Now, that's a ridiculous thing. We sorted it out. We found out that yes, while she was following the rules as to what to do if, I guess, a thief comes and attaches a fake ticket to a bunch of real tickets, she did not know how to use her scanner properly. But instead of having customer service, instead of thinking about how one should approach this, she responded with the anger that was already inside of her. She'd already assumed and knew that this kind of place was not for people like us. And she didn't want to have to let us in. And if she could get us out on a technicality, on a quiet rule, and she threw up her hands, I can't help you, I can't do anything, she would. That is a very tiny, low stakes example of the work Carol Anderson, as a historian, has done in looking at the documented and demonstrated examples of rule making and code making that certain people in higher classes have used to quietly make sure that lower class whites and Black people with wealth cannot get ahead. When Carol Anderson decided to write White Rage, it had come after she had been asked for the Washington Post to write an op-ed in the wake of August 2014 when the Black Lives Matter riots were exploding. Her critique was that we were looking at Black rage. We were looking at physical anger, destruction of property, all those different things. And she was making it very clear in that first essay and then in her book that you can't understand this rage unless you understand the other kind of rage. That's the rage that uses your political power, your legal power, to write laws and little caveats into things to make sure that you undermine the wealth of people believed to be Black, and you make sure that people who are believed to be white, who are in lower classes, never politically come together with those people. Now, who does that cost? It costs the democracy, and it costs all sorts of other classes that aren't in the ruling class. Because what they're doing is you're undermining, as she shows in her book, you're undermining voting rights. You're undermining this ability for the lower classes to look at each other and go, hey, our taxes should be going toward X, Y, and Z. Carol's research, I should say Miss Anderson's research, is an invitation to look at the kind of responses that have legally always existed to the advancement of Black people or the advancement of lower classes coming together and saying, this is how we would like to be treated. She's making it clear that if we don't look at the playbook, we're going to miss it in today's age. It's not something that happened back then. It's something that's happening now. We're going to be looking at this work because there's going to come a point in time When you are trying to rightfully access something that is yours, and you're going to be told that if it is given to you or if you want it, it's probably because you stole it or you shouldn't have it. As a historian, she's making these brilliant connections about how this is an assault on Black middle class, but then you can go out and see it's also the middle class as a whole. It's really important that we contextually understand our history because we're all bound up together, and all of our lives and our pursuit of happiness and liberty, it's connected. And there are reasons that people don't want you to understand that, because you become dangerous when you know that. You're less of a victim and you're more of a threat. So I'm excited to read this book. If you've read this book, if you finished it, if you know of any other things of Carol Anderson's that you just really particularly want to look at, please write in the comments.
Why do white people pay so much attention to black people if they don't like them? You would think if you didn't like something, why would you be paying attention to it? I don't pay attention to things I don't like.
What's the answer?
The answer is the liar knows what lie he told. You see what I'm saying? So even if I made it deceitful and I made you think that the answer is over here, but the answer is really over here, I'm still going to be looking over here. Me, the one that tricked, because I know this is the right answer. Black people have lost their identity, but our oppressors have not lost our identity. That's just why they chopped those noses off of the Pharaoh and the Sphinx in Egypt in the first place, is because without this nose, we can tell you this is whoever it is. But with that nigga nose, it can only be niggas. Why would somebody vandalize a whole face and only vandalize one part? Nobody wanted to knock an eye off or take an ear off or no chins missing. No, just the nose.
This is a black man trapped in a white man body. He's genuinely feeling every single pain that the black man is going through. Watch.
Why is it that white folks support anti-blackness, racism, and white supremacist culture in so many goddamn fucking ways? Why is it that we support it through our silence, our defensiveness, our denial, that code of silence? Let's not talk about it. Let's ignore it. All that fucking gymnastics, the defensiveness, the fucking anger, the passive aggressiveness, the stereotyping, the overt, covert racist, all the shit that we do, the gaslighting, all that fucking shit that we do as white people. Why can't we just leave black people the fuck alone? Why? Because we were taught that shit. It's our culture. White supremacist culture is American culture. It's European culture. We see ourselves as overseers. We ourselves as entitled to control and judge black people. White Americans wanted, back in the day, we demanded black people be segregated, right? So we segregated. Black people said, okay, great, we're going to make our own shit. They started doing great. What did we do? We fucking burned their communities down to the ground. And you're going to sit in your fucking silence? You ought to be ashamed of yourself for not giving a fuck. Every single one of you that can't talk about it, that spews fucking racist narratives, stereotypes, denial, gaslight. That's not their reality. Telling black people what the fuck they should think, feel, do, be. Fuck you. Do better. Reject your fucking training, your indoctrination. Question your own goddamn morality racially for once in your fucking life. I'm tired.
You know one thing that you African blacks and Caribbean blacks hate, especially the African blacks? Y'all hate when black Americans say that they like being a black American. That just gets under your skin, baby. That's like nails on a chalkboard for you, ain't it? Now, this is not going to be my typical content, but y'all know I love black people, and I seen something, I got to talk about it. I was born and raised in New York, right? So when it comes to geographical locations that I'm going to always rep, is going to be New York first, point blank, period. Not the United States, not America, but New York, okay? But with that said, both of my parents are Jamaican born. I am the youngest person. I am the first person on my father's side to be born in the States, right? So all my family older than me is Jamaican. So of course I attach to Jamaican culture. So I am a black person and I'm American, but I am not a black American. I relate to being Jamaican, right? Follow me. Anytime I say I'm Jamaican and I love being Jamaican, no one bats an eye. No one feels like it's offensive. No one, you know what I'm saying? No one has any type of adverse reaction to it. But the moment a black American says that they love their culture and they love being black American and they wouldn't want to be anything else other than black American, it's a problem. And I just don't understand why. Now, if you've been following me for any length of time, you absolutely know that I love the African diaspora on a whole, because we did not control where our ancestors went, whether it was to come to America, whether it was to go to the islands, whether it was to remain in Africa, whatever. We didn't control none of that. So as a larger community, we need to be more united as opposed to divisive. But at the same time, we can still love our individual cultures. There is nothing that you could pay me to be anything other than Jamaican. Nothing in this world. And that's okay. So when a black American says something like that, allow them. Let them do what they're doing. And what kills me the most is I would be okay with y'all saying this if y'all was staying in your own country saying this shit. If y'all was staying in Africa, if y'all was staying in Haiti, if y'all was staying in Jamaica saying this shit, do your thing. Do your big one. But no, y'all come to their country with this BS. And it's not even those of you who are born and raised here. It's not even them. It's the people that came here as kids. It's the people that came here as teenagers. It's the people that came here as adults. Even worse, it's people in England. Black Americans have a very diverse culture. Black Americans ancestrally experienced slavery for the longest. Whatever the reason was, is what it was, and that is what happened. Black Americans are the reason why you can come from other countries and come into this country as a black person and have some level of opportunity, because they fought for it or their ancestors fought for it. Not y'all. So when you come here, you have the opportunity and y'all want to wonder, hey, well, I wonder why black Americans don't do this and I wonder why black Americans don't do that, because they're fucking tired. That's why. Yeah, stay safe.
It is important for you to understand that there are people out there who have absolutely nothing to lose. They do not care that you have a family waiting on you at home. They do not care that you have small children that need you. They do not care that you have a spouse who loves you, that you have a new job. They don't care about none of that. They don't care about your future. Listen, some people have burned their own lives down and they have no problem helping you burn yours too. The problem is that stable people often assume everyone around them is stable too, and that is not the case. There are so many people walking around with mental health problems undiagnosed. We think that everybody's operating at the same level of self-control or common sense or fear of consequences, but that's just not the case. There are people out there who will throw their whole lives away over a moment of anger. And so not every insult deserves a response. Not every disagreement deserves a debate. Not every act of disrespect requires you to prove a point. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is leave people exactly where they are and keep it moving for your safety. You don't get extra points for winning an argument with a mentally unstable person, no. You don't get a trophy for having the last word. There are a lot of people carrying around wounds, rage, bitterness, anger, things that you know nothing about. You might see a small disagreement, they see a reason to explode. There are people sitting in prison right now because they couldn't let something go. A comment, a disagreement, an argument. It was one moment where pride convinced them that they had to respond. Now they have years to think about a decision that only took seconds to make. So honestly, y'all, the older I get, the more I learn that protecting your peace, that's wisdom. Learn to leave people alone.
Preface it with this. I am literally 50% European Jew on my father's side and 50% Italian on my mother's side. Every once in a while in my ancestry DNA, a 1% will come up. But that is basically what it is, split down the fucking middle. Debbie got like 22 things. She always laughs at mine because it basically never fucking changes. So as a man that checks the box Caucasian, I want to address racist white people. I am so fucking sick and motherfucking tired of all of you that do this following thing. Say that black people always make it about race. No, you rotten fucking racist motherfuckers, they don't. You know why they say it though? Because it always is about fucking race. Every fucking time you put the word black in front of something, It's a motherfucking problem. Every time a black person gets beaten by the police or gets ripped off by a company, you motherfuckers go on social media and try to destroy them as a person. And it comes out to be that most of the motherfucking time, you're all full of shit. Also, you motherfuckers against DEI and back in the day affirmative action. Now, I'm going to shock some people when I say the following thing, but if you know me, I always keep it real. I wish there was no such thing as affirmative action back in the day and DEI today. You know why? Because that would mean that the fucking playing field for black people, but realistically, any minority group, including motherfucking women, but you got white women that still want to fucking support Trump and they're proud of it. You wouldn't have to have that if the fucking playing field, especially in the workplace, was fair for everybody. But it is not. And if you really want to be fucking real, follow me on this next point. The biggest motherfucking DEI hire is one Donald Jessica Trump. You know, AKA the fucking knob swallower. AKA the one that, who this guy Bubba is, we need to know. Like Joy Reid said, I want to know. Spits or swallows? That's what Joy Reid said. Joy, if you see this, I'm right there with you. We want to know about Bubba. His administration, the biggest group of incompetent people that you could possibly have. But you had Charlie, he ain't here no fucking more, Kirk, who was on a plane, said he hopes that the black pilot is not a DEI hire. But that's not racist. But I got somebody that tells me that's in their 70s that Charlie's such a great guy. He watched much of his stuff and he's not racist. You know what? Anybody with that fucking mind, oh, and they don't worship a president. They worship God. No, you worship a fucking president. Because if you could find excuses for Charlie Kirk and fucking Donald Jessica fucking Trump, you are a fucking cult member who I have aptly named DMMFSs. Dumb, maggot, motherfucking swallowers who do the fucking most, it's been a minute since I said this, with the fucking least, with fucking 2 teeth and 0 fucking brain cells. The only thing dumber than Donald Jessica fucking Trump is you motherfuckers. But in closing, back to what I said. Black people make it about race because unfortunately for them, the most persecuted group in American history with the #1 persecuted person in American history is a black female, first because the color of her skin and then the fact that she's a female, and 1B is a trans black woman who we don't even hear about all the horrible things that are happening to them. That's why on this platform, in my motherfucking videos, you punk bitch motherfuckers, I will always have the backs of the black community, the LGBTQIA+ community, and any marginalized group. But I will say this. Any one of those marginalized fucking groups, from black people to LGBTQIA+, to any fucking person of color, like the Somalian asshole that fucking said, I supported Trump. I reached, what did he say, 5 million people, whatever the fucking number was. Now he don't like that Trump is attacking the country of Somalia and Somalians in the country of America. I know he thought it was probably the country of Mattel because he literally said it because he's a fucking dumbass motherfucker. But if you support Donald Jessica Trump and you're in any marginalized group, including women, may you have the most rottenest fucking Christmas. I hope fucking Santa brings chimney down your fucking chimney with coal and put it in your fucking socks because you motherfuckers are no fucking good. Jason Shitlock, Candy Girl Owens, the fucking Hodge twins, fucking Caitlyn fucking Jenner, and any other motherfucker that supports this evil, rotten, motherfucking bastard. And on this day, let it be known that I said, the liberal who did 20 years and 28 motherfucking days, Trump, I hate your motherfucking guts. And everybody in the Trump family is absolute bottom-feeding, grifters, rotten motherfuckers. The worst American family in American fucking history. He's worse than a fucking plantation owner back in the fucking days of slavery because them rotten motherfuckers.
So on today's version of White People Can't Leave Black People Alone If Their Life Depended on It, we're barbecuing at the park, right? It's Memorial Weekend, but we're there on Saturday, yesterday. So it's not busy. Okay, the park is wide open. We are literally the only people within like a 0.25 mile radius that are actually like parked and doing things. You know what I mean? Like there's a few people throwing some frisbees, some footballs. There's somebody like throwing a ball with their dog. But like as far as like actively taking up space, like a bunch of picnic tables, one group, us. And so we're all grilling out, and I watch these women, right? Because I'm just sitting there. Obviously, I'm not cooking. I'm watching these women walk from across the park, right? And first they're on the trail. They're on the trail, on the trail, on the trail. Then they come off the trail towards us. Then they walk up towards us. They're across from me at the picnic table, and they go, "Do you guys mind if we sit here?" Nobody says anything, so I say, "You have the entire park and you want to sit right here? That's weird." Because it fucking is. Like, don't piss me off. Like, I watched y'all walk. Y'all had hundreds of options of picnic tables to sit at. You choose to sit right here. And not only, you know it's weird because you're asking us. So you know you're being fucking weird. And you know it's weird if we say no. Good thing is, I'm a bitch in real life. It don't bother me. Why do you want to sit next to us when you have this entire park to sit at? They didn't say a word. They just walked away. Weird ass.
Welcome back to World Moving Thread. You've seen the videos, you've seen how a lot of people, even in some of the videos we watched, we saw how a white man said, "You guys should leave the black communities alone. They are only interested in having a normal life, a peaceful life. They are not interested in whatever goes around in your community and your environment, but they just want to live and let's live." And that was what it is basically. And you see in the comment section, you see that a lot of people, the videos you've watched rather, a lot of people are talking about white people being obsessed with black people. And whether you like it or not, it has been like that. Apart from history that shows that in time past, black people were like slaves, or they were into slavery. They were the slaves of those days. The wealth of a white man is measured by the number of slaves he's got in his farmland and all that. Apart from those days and all that, even till now, there's no longer slavery. There's not a black community. There are a lot of people in America. The white people still want to be putting mouth in decision making. Apart from the fact that they've made a system that works for themselves, they have made them superior over every other person, every other race. But then still, they are still engaging themselves in discussions around the black communities, discussions in black development, discussions in black history and all that. And the black communities are saying, "We don't want you guys to be involved. After all, you guys have erased our name from the history of the United States of America. Don't forget that America was built on the sweat of black men and all that. But instead, you've rewritten the history to favor you, to make you look like the lords and the alpha of America. We have accepted that. We take that as our fortune. But please, from now henceforth, stop commenting. Stop involving yourself. We are not obsessed with you. You guys are obsessed with us. I'd like to know what you think about this subject matter, this topic right now. If you think it is true that the white people can really not do anything without the black communities, and that's what it is basically. I'd like to hear your comment. Please comments below. Like this video and please subscribe to the channel. Note that once again that credit belongs to the content creators in this video. I'll see you guys on my next. Cheers.